Hey guys, for those of you lucky enough to own a Fuji X-T3, congratulations, that's a great camera. This video is not for you. This video is for current Fuji X-T2 users, those Fuji X-T2 users that need a little convincing because they're struggling. They're struggling with their gas and they're so close to hitting that buy it now button. So this video is for you. A little therapy and convincing that you don't really need a Fuji X-T3. By the way, we're not bashing on the Fuji X-T3. That's a really amazing camera. You know, you should just get it. That was a test. Reason number one, the same design. Save for a few dial changes, pushing out of the EVF and adding a door that falls off. The cameras pretty much look the same, which is a good thing. That means your old camera can be mistaken for a Fuji X-T3. I mean, now it could. Two, image quality seems to be about the same, even though the Fuji X-T3 has 26 megapixels and the Fuji X-T2 has 24 megapixels. They're really, I mean, unless you're pixel peeping, there doesn't seem to be a perceptible difference in image quality. It's not like the X-T3 is like 40 megapixels or something. Same battery. Eye detection. The Fuji X-T2 does have eye detection. Probably not as good as the X-T3, but it has eye detection that works. Now, if you're gonna shoot a model that moves around as much as the eye detection tests show in a lot of videos, then you should probably get the X-T3. But for normal use, eye detection is fine. Ooh, a big one. Reports show and data shows that the Fuji X-T2 is actually better in low light than the X-T3. So if you shoot in low light, Fuji X-T2. So the autofocus performance in the X-T3 has been improved dramatically. However, unless you're photographing like cheetahs and race cars and cheetahs slaloming with race cars chasing them, the X-T2, it already has an advanced autofocus system. For example, I put on the 56 1.2, a notoriously slow focusing lens on continuous autofocus, and I photographed my daughter running down the hill and it nailed focused every single time. So the Fuji X-T2 has a very capable and very good autofocus system. It didn't become obsolete just because the X-T3 came out, okay? Okay? Here's what $1,400 can buy you. With that money, you can get a 16mm 1.4 lens and a 35mm f2. Or you could get the 16 to 55 2.8 lens. That's a monster with a 35mm f2. Two lenses. You could get the 90mm, the 35, and a 12mm Rokinon. Three lenses for your Fuji X-T2. I could go on and on. The Fuji X-T3 is made in China, which means it's cheap, yo. No, I'm just kidding. A lot of good stuff is made in China, but it does have to bug the Fuji X-T3 people that, look at this, look, come here. Yeah, but my Fuji X-T2 is made in Japan? You don't need to shoot at 30 frames a second, because that's called video. Next, you have to come to terms that we're living in a new crazy product cycle society. It started with phones coming out every year, but just remember, cameras used to come out every 3 to 5 years, a new body would be announced. So you're just gonna have to maybe start thinking about investing in something you need and maybe skipping a generation, because these are companies trying to make money. So think about that. Think about that you may need to skip. Don't get caught up in the hype. Tons of respect for people still rocking their XT10s and their XT1s, okay? They're not caught up in the product cycle. But come on, guys, it's time to upgrade. And come on, let's face it, last but not least, we're the only ones that care and know what camera we have. Going through old photos, I posted up an old photograph, this one right here, taken from Baltimore, I think. But this was taken with a 3 megapixel camera in 2002. And here's a picture of my wife, which I love. Again, a tiny, junky little Canon camera that I had that I think was 3 megapixels. And yeah, they're not an X-T2, X-T1 even, but they're good enough. And no one, if you're posting most of your stuff online anyway, like we do nowadays, no one's gonna notice your camera and how you got the shot, okay? So put that money towards something else. Lenses, a trip, a diamond ring, man. It's about time you asked already. And if you're still fighting that urge to upgrade, you like?